This is the first time we've been back in the studio for a while, and I'm glad because we've got great guests who have done a lot of different things. I want to get right to the discussion. We've got Philly guy, comedian, actor, friend of the station, Mr. Chuck Nice. Welcome to The Pulse.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
And astrophysicist, TV host, podcast, the Hayden Planetarium.
Director
Of
the Hayden Planetarium.
Okay. Director of the Hayden
Why you got to
Planetarium.
correct the man? Let the man introduce.
Hey, listen, man.
his
You
own
got to
show.
listen. I know it's his show, but you got to get the credits right, man.
He's not wrong.
You know,
He's not wrong.
it ain't like you're not a greeter at the Hayden Planetarium. Welcome to the planetarium.
Right.
Like
He's been to the Hayden Planetarium.
I've heard of the Hayden Planetarium.
right.
Neil DeGrasse Tyson.
Well, thank you. And
Appreciate you
you
guys
prompted
coming
me just before we went live for me to say, welcome to The Pulse with Bill Anderson.
I like it.
Nice.
I like
That's
it.
my planetarium voice.
Yeah, well,
That's how that works.
Now you got to sign a release that says they can't just make that the new voice of the show. You know that, right? Because now you're gonna end up like what was the guy's name? The black guy on CNN.
Yeah.
This is CNN.
No, this is CNN.
Wow, nice.
Right, yeah.
Who is that?
That's Darth Vader. That's
right?
Darth Vader, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And they just took it.
No.
Took it. Rolled with it.
Yeah, because there was a deleted scene in Star Wars where he said, "This is CNN."
So as I was saying,
Bill, delight to meet you. Thank you for having
It
us
is my pleasure.
on your show.
But I was saying before we started that I had no idea how this was going to go. We normally just sit down and talk, but because you guys do that anyway and have hit shows and podcasts and touring, I kind of felt like I might be the guy who's sitting in on your show.
You're the odd man out.
Right?
What do we need you to? We don't need
Exactly,
him.
right. Yeah, we said, all right, welcome to Star Talk, ladies and gentlemen.
As long as y'all keep talking, then I can go ahead and go. I
No,
got
we
some
good.
errands
We
to
good.
run.
No.
We good.
And we're going to run through all of it. But what we do when we start here, and we can go with both of you, with people who have accomplished so much and are doing so many things.
That would be Neil.
I would. You too. You too.
I try myself.
I
Listen,
like 20 years
I
in the
try never to be in the same comparison category. Like the people say, Neil, this is Neil deGrasse Tyson, and then they're going to give you 5 pages of accomplishments, right? 30 books that have been authored, right? The many, many television shows that have been hosted, right? The speakers tour, the director of the Hayden Planetarium, and then there his co-host Chuck Nice, and it's like he tells jokes about his like. Okay, so yeah.
Now imagine for a second how I'm feeling right now. Because you just talked about feeling that way sitting next to him, but I'm sitting next to both of you. And I don't have 20 years in the game and comedian and actor or whatever. So let's hype us all up.
It's very easy to say that when you are Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? Isn't that funny how it works out? Isn't it funny how it works out?
I feel the same
way. Right. It's like, I
don't.
don't want people to listen to me because of my pedigree, right? Because when your pedigree is, yo, I'm Charlie, I got some stuff to say. I sit at the end of the bar, right?
No, I would listen to Charlie. See, this is my point. I give Charlie some audience.
The truth is, you would see.
I would.
That's why people relate.
That's true.
why
I would
people are-
so find out what Charlie had to say.
He's that guy. He is the guy that would actually sit and talk to Charlie and then say, well, Charlie, have you ever considered this? Right? That's because I've seen it happen. I've seen it.
How did this happen? Like, I know the history, but you guys, how did you come together, this pairing?
Neil came up with the concept to have the cosmos and comedians come together as a means of reaching the masses, right? And they got this grant, from what I understand.
Yeah, from the National Science Foundation. Yeah,
Right.
To
So they
test the idea that science can be a commercial product,
right,
and not just something you have to beg for money every quarter to try to support as a radio show. Right.
Right. Brilliant idea. Brilliant. Mm-hmm. I got a call from this person, and I thought it was my friend Carlos making fun of me because I was a fan. And it was like, oh, do you know Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson? I was like, yes, Carlos, I know Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. And he would like you to come into his office and speak for that. And I was like, yeah, right.
Stop playing.
So then we said, well, how do we know what best humor would work? So those conversations I had with many comedians, and we're really testing the chemistry. Do I want a comedian that just has one-liners? No. I want someone who's smart, who can see the science, see the pop culture, and reveal what might be humorous about that in ways that releases that burden from me. I think I can occasionally be funny, but if I have a professionally funny person, I can stick with the science.
When you hear that in theory, and that discussion comes up, and we're going to take science and try to make it funny and come together, and everybody will really like that show. Did you even believe that? Because it works. I mean, we now.
No. Okay. I knew it would work because I was already doing it.
Yeah.
In my in my public lectures.
Yeah.
What I found was, I'd be on an airplane. Before I was widely known, you're sitting next to someone in the airport. What do you do? I'm an astrophysicist. They start asking questions, and I'd monitor how bright were their eyes and their eyebrows when I give an answer. Yeah. And depending on what the answer was, they would look a little less interested. They'd look a little more. And if I linked the universe to pop culture, something that they already knew, because what is pop culture? I don't have to explain pop culture to them. By definition, that's what pop culture is.
And Neil is funny, which, by the way, people, when you meet me, don't tell me how funny Neil is. Okay? I'm just letting you know. I can't tell you how many people are just like, oh, man, I love you guys. Neil is really funny. I'm like, shut the hell up.
That's my job on the show.
What are you talking about, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Tell me how smart
ain't nobody coming to him like, yo, I love your show with Chuck. That guy's brilliant. And that's just not happening, right?